Up next.
Come experience education with no boundaries at Ndeja University, where learning is taken beyond the confines of a lecture room. Come experience Ndeja University's Open Distance e-learning ODEL initiative. The program is flexible, reliable, and affordable with an impeccable support system to help you excel in the areas of engineering, health sciences, arts, education, social sciences, business management, basic sciences, and information technology. It will not matter where you are with our ODEL program. Your education experience at Ndeja University will be of quality. For more information, kindly visit our website at www.ndejauniversity.ac.ug or call 0392 730 321. Ndeja University. Come experience a holistic approach to learning.
My name is Samiko Voblam Zabo, every Thursday, 8:30 p.m. I'm here to thank you for watching Ndeja University TV and of course wish you a Merry Christmas and a very prosperous New Year 2023. Enjoy responsibly, stay watching Ndeja University TV, but most importantly, stay safe.
This week.
I hope you enjoyed.
Colombia body.
Ndeja University TV, your source of knowledge and wisdom. Volunteers give a hand in the Eastern Africa University Games. Businesses flourish at the East African University Games. President Museveni returns from UK and United States. Celebrations rock Mubende and Kansanda districts as government lifts the lockdown. Government asked to control school fees increment. And in sports, Ian Asubo and Chiranda give us more updates of the East Africa University Games. Welcome, this is Live at 8. My name is Anselm Ojaru with the news in details. Volunteers have been recruited to ensure the smooth running of the East Africa University Games that are taking place at Ndeja University main campus in Luero. Sarah Chirabo reports.
The 12th edition of the Eastern African University Games kicked off on Friday 16th with over 40 universities across East Africa participating at Ndejje University in Luwero. The games are also termed as the biannual University Games, which take place every December of every even year. The East African University Games involves a lot of activities which need monitoring, like accommodation, medical services, among others, which called for different volunteers in a hand in different departments to make the event successful.
So our duty is to make sure that games go on well. We have to make sure that all universities get all they need. For example, if it's a sports that is going to happen, they have all the requirements, the balls. If it's karate, they have everything they need. That's what we do as volunteers, and to make sure that all the injured people also get medication as early as possible, and also to make sure that everything, for instance, if there is any need, because now we have so many universities from different countries, some of them don't know the local languages we use here, so we have to help them out in each and everything that they need. We divided ourselves into two departments. For instance, we have those that are heading sports disciplines. For instance, we have a volunteer in charge of taekwondo, a volunteer in charge of football, a volunteer in charge of all the different games, and we also have volunteers who are divided into universities. For instance, a volunteer who is in charge of KIU, Makerere, Kenyatta University, different volunteers. So we also have those divided into the accommodation, which includes also feeding, and we also have those in medication.
Jonan Mangen, a volunteer in charge of Muni University, he's happy for his department and he's doing his best to understand all individual characters.
It has, I've learned to, not all people fully know how to deal with English. Not all people fully know how to deal with English. So you have to understand how people speak. You understand their reaction towards different statements, towards different words.
Some volunteers say it's a pleasure to be part of the East African University Games as they enjoy to the fullest.
We are so grateful. I'm so grateful to Ndejje University for considering us as volunteers and also helping in the East African Games, because it has been an adventure, it has been fun, it's an experience of its own.
With all the pressures and the difficulties that you've been facing during the organization of these games since you were the host, I appreciate you so much.
Volunteers further thanked Ndejje University for the great opportunities given to them to serve in the games, hence calling upon fellow Ugandans to watch and support the games.
They are so nice, they are so interesting, and the teams are really tough. The teams are really
deliver good quality service delivery to our visitors.
For Ndejje University, the defending champion of the previous editions of the East African University Games, who are also the most successful university in the Games, having a world-class event would cement their position as a sports powerhouse. Sarah Chirabo, live at 8.
Several business personnel across Luwero, Kampala and other areas have gathered at Ndejje University main campus where the East Africa University Games are taking place. Agnes Tabgwao gives us the details of how these business are doing.
Ever since the East African University Games began on 16th of December at Ndejje University main campus in Luwero, several business persons across Kampala, Luwero and other parts of the country have shifted their business places at Ndejje University grounds where the East African University Games are taking place. Many of them came with different perspectives from the East African University Games towards their businesses. Juliet Nkalubo, a business lady from Machindi, is among the beneficiaries from the East African University Games, saying that her hopes did not go in vain since she is receiving more than enough customers each day.
The business today, it is very fine. We are working, people are working, I'm also working, and I'm very happy, very, very happy. Because the ice cream machine has worked very well.
They are also turning up because they like the colors and what's on them.
While others were rejoicing over getting more customers, others were disappointed due to the low turn-up of customers during the East African University Games at Ndeje University.
Naye mbeera bali tennabeera nnungi ku saidi yaffe twataddemu naye kye kibadde tekinnavaayo bulungi naye tukkiriza gye binaggweera mu nnaku ezeeyongerayo osanga Mukama mwesigwa anaatuviirayo.
But today business hasn't been very good. We actually expected a lot of people since it is an East African game. But to our surprise, it is like we are having inter people are very few. The customers are really very few.
Business persons have appreciated Ndeje University for hosting these East African University Games at Ndeje University grounds and as well giving them access to sell their properties within Ndeje University premises.
I want to thank also the university for what they have done for us. They have given us an opportunity so that we can sell our things.
Kale omukolo ngunyumiddwa era n'olulala nsaba twongereyo tournament endala tukole ssente empya n'enkadde.
The ongoing East African University Games kicked off on 16th of December and they are to run up to 21st of December at Ndeje University main campus in Ruel. Mugwao, live at 8.
The President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has returned to the country after taking an official trip to the United States and UK. Grace Nabukenya reports.
On 11th December 2022, the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, set off for the US Africa Leadership Summit as well as the UK, where he opened a meeting for off-takers of food and investors in Uganda's agricultural and industrial sector. The President returned home on Sunday, 19th December 2022, at Entebbe International Airport, where he was received by the Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Alupo, Minister for Presidency, Honorable Babidi Emili Babalanda, the Head of Public Service and Cabinet, Mrs. Rachel Nachobe, UPDF Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Mbasu, the Director of Crime Intelligence Uganda Police Force, Brigadier General Christopher Damulira, and Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Samuel Akena. On this official working tour, the President first made a stop at the United Kingdom, where he met the managers and processors of food and large commodity buyers. Also commissioned the trade envoys in Balkans, UK and USA to help further Uganda's investment agenda. President Museveni also met UK government official led by Lord Andrew Mitchell, the Minister of Development and Africa. On 13th December, General Museveni proceeded to USA for the US Africa Leader Summit in Washington, D.C., where he was invited by the US President Joe Biden. While there, he met and held talks with Mrs. Victoria Nuland, the United States Undersecretary for Political Affairs, that discussed a number of continental issues, with key focus being the regional security challenges and East Africa. He further concluded his trip in the US with the opening of the first ever Uganda-US Trade Investment Summit that took place in Chicago. Mr. Museveni later went back to UK, where he met with His Majesty King Charles III at Windsor Castle, where he officially commiserated and held talks with the King. Most of the meetings were organized by the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, headed by Audrey Kurabogo. The President is expected to address the nation tomorrow at 8 p.m. Grace Nabukenya, live at 8.
Thank you, Grace. On 17th of December, the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, on behalf of President Museveni, lifted the lockdown on Kasanda and Mubende. Agnes Nabugwawo with more details.
On Saturday 17th, The government, through the Vice President Jessica Alupo on behalf of President Yoweri Museveni, lifted the 42-day lockdown that the government had imposed on central districts of Mubende and Kansanda to control the virus spread of Ebola.
All movement restrictions and curfew in Mubende and Kansanda districts with immediate effect. Today, 17th December 2022. The lifting of these restrictions is based on the fact that currently there is no transmission, no contact under follow-up, no patients in isolation facilities, and we are progressing well with the count.
Immediately after Alupo announced the lift of the lockdown, residents in Mubende and Kansanda were overwhelmed. They ran from their houses and hit the streets while celebrating. Alupo said the decision of lifting lockdown in these two districts was made by National Task Force after considering a decrease in the case positivity rate and hospital admissions. The country has gone 20 straight days without recording any case of Ebola. As of December 17th, Uganda had registered 142 cumulative cases of Ebola with 56 deaths in the previous 3 months. Saturday 17th marked 89 days since the outbreak of Ebola was declared in Mubende district, says Jessica Alupo.
It is 89 days today since the outbreak of Ebola was declared in Mubende district, and we have been responding to contain this outbreak. It is also 63 days since Mubende and Kansanda have been under restricted movements.
Recently, in the last president's address on Ebola in these two districts of Mubende and Kansanda, the president said that the Ebola disease, unlike coronavirus, is very easy to deal with since the methods of spread are through contacts with body fluids and infected clothing, and hands are the main vehicle of transmission. So far, Mubende district has not registered any confirmed case for 34 days, and neither has Kansanda for 37 days. The recommended health care trainers who were on the duty in these two districts were requested to stay focused.
The 3,600 trained health care workers of different categories will remain on standby. With concerted efforts and through a whole of society approach, we managed to stop further transmission in Kagadi, Bunyangabu, Chegegwa, Masaka, Jinja, Wakiso, and Kampala districts.
During the address, Alupo said that the most affected district was Mubende, which was also the initial epicenter district of this outbreak, with 66 cases and 29 deaths. This was followed by Kansanda district with 49 cases and 21 deaths. Kampala with 18 cases and 3 deaths. Chegwegwa with 3 cases and 0 deaths. Jinja district with 1 case and 1 death. There are currently no cases on admission. It is against this background that all the movement restrictions and curfew in Mubende and Kansanda district was lifted with the immediate effect. Agnes Nabugwao, live at 8.
The Equal Opportunities Commission has asked government to intervene in the school fees increment by both private and public schools that have continuously hiked fees in the prevailing economic hardship. The commission was led by its chairperson, Safia Narule Juko. While addressing journalists at Media Center, they noted that 35% of the parents have pending school fees. Frank Senabulia reports.
During a press briefing at the Uganda Media Center, a board member of the Equal Opportunities Commission, Mr. Habib Selwaji, expressed concern over the rising cost of keeping learners in school as parents struggle to fend for their dear ones in the current financial hardships.
The Commission has noted that many private schools and government-aided schools and institutions across the country have increased fees on the onset of 2022 by an average of 30%, while a number of government-aided schools have again increased fees as high as 38% for the next academic year.
Selwaji said that many schools increased fees to cope up with the rising operational costs caused by COVID-19 effects, forgetting that parents had been affected by the pandemic and their incomes had not changed.
Whatever the case, parents feel the increments are unfair, especially considering that their incomes have not changed. This explains why the results from a sample of a number of schools across the country shows that during the academic year 2022, only 65% of the parents managed to pay school fees in full.
He called on the Ministry of Education to intervene because many learners may be denied access to education when schools are left to increase the dues at any time they wish without considering the guardians and parents who are experiencing similar economic challenges.
In this regard, the parents are calling upon government through Ministry of Education and Sports to take a bold step and regulate school dues at all levels, government and private, and all other pertinent matters related to learning and the future of young Ugandans.
The chairperson of the Equal Opportunities Commission, Sarah Naule Juko, noted that many government schools lack facilities for people with special needs, and the funds allocated for education of PWs through the Ministry of Education are still insufficient.
Uganda came up with a program under Ministry of Education to ensure that each sub-county has got a seed secondary school. And with that, you know, there are so many issues which come with these seed secondary schools. For example, are these seed secondary schools accessible to children with disabilities? Do they have the facilities like baby toilets and so on and so forth? So these are the kind of issues we make recommendations to the entity concerned, and then they come in to provide.
The chairperson further told the media that the commission plans to assess how government has mainstreamed equal opportunities in its ministries, departments and agencies come next year.
Next year, in the month of February, we are going to have what we call a gender equal opportunities week, whereby we are going to call all agencies of government to present to us their plans and budgets, and specifically to show us what measures they have included to ensure equalization of opportunities, gender and equity, compliance, as well as affirmative action.
The Commission advised public schools and institutions to review their operational budgets and seek for more capitation grants from government if they fall short of scholastic necessities.
The Commission's position is that schools, especially public government-aided schools and institutions, should not increase school fees. Whereas the Commission understands the difficulty the schools are going through, it should be noted that parents are equally facing the same. We have engaged several stakeholders on this issue to ensure that the schools do not exorbitantly increase fees for the next year, let alone it makes it a habit.
Frank Senabulia, live at 8.
And in sports, Ian Asubo and Chiranda bring us more updates of the East Africa University Games.
Ndejje University became the first university to host the East Africa University Games after the COVID-19 pandemic when it launched the 12th edition of the Games at its main campus in Bombo on Friday. As expected, teams from different universities around East Africa started arriving at the venue in Luwero as early as Thursday last week. Universities from Uganda have been a dominant factor in the previous editions, with Ndeje emerging victors of the last 5 editions, and they have hit the road running in this edition as well. The games are currently underway with strict measures to control the spread of Ebola and COVID-19, which was the main reason for halting the tournament in 2020. Despite the tournament being halfway through the scheduled time, some of the participants have been awarded after completion of their respective championships, and this includes the swimmers, where Ndeje University emerged as overall winners.
Well, it's been a successful tournament for the Piranhas. We came out on top with yesterday. In the first day, we had over 20 gold medals and 6 silver. But as Ndeje Piranhas, we have done a successful job both at the All Africa in June and also the East Africa Games at Ndeje. Of course, it's very special winning at the continental level and the East African level. It's a very inspiring, and next year hopefully can qualify for the world edition as well that will be held in China. But it feels great. It feels great because definitely as a host you have this expectation to win. The Ndeje crowd has been phenomenal. We never thought that swimming was going to be one of the watch sports, but you know, so many crowds, so many people left football, netball, basketball, the famous sports, to come and watch swimming. And here at the pavilion, it was a full crowd on Sunday and also on Monday. So thank you very much, Ndeje, for hosting. The facilities were great, and it has hosted a successful games, and we are happy that we've come out victorious.
It was okay, but not good. This is the base of my season, yeah. I just wanted to maximize, actually. I didn't have so much expectations, but I just want to maximize my potential. So I think I have to go.
Jacob. Okay, my name is Timothy Ongaba. I'm a swimmer under Makerere Sharks. This is my final event as a competitive swimmer under the university category. So this event coming in, I hope to do my best, because now like I'm past my undergraduate, so you know, life is coming in. So I hope to do my best, and yeah, I did that. I got 4 medals. I got my first individual gold, not a gold, my first individual medal in 100 breast. The rest were really events for the freestyle, for the medley, for the boys. Those were for the boys.
Samuel Nderitu, a student at Kenyatta University, is impressed with the levels of organization the hosts have achieved.
I've managed to get 5 bronze medals, 3 individual events and 2 relays. It's not been a strong finish for me. Every athlete expects to come here and win golds, but unfortunately, okay, it's good. I still have something to take back home, but I had gold in mind. So I'm a bit disappointed in that, but I'm a bit happy because I put in good times, happy times, the times I've been working for. So I know I'll be happy about that with my coaches back at home. We have now something to work on. So yeah, I'm proud of that.
Colin Semanda, the host university's public relations officer, says as organizers they have met with a few challenges, and this includes the inconsistent weather that had some disciplines interrupted.
So far we have managed to achieve, this is day 3 of the Eastern African University Games at Ndeje University, and actually as we speak now we have been able to have 2 events completed. That is rugby, which was yesterday, and today swimming is done, and I think later in the day we shall have karate also done, then we shall have athletics coming in next tomorrow. And the weather is been a challenge, but at least now it's clearing, and I know by end of close of business Wednesday all will be well. So we are glad that we are running as planned, and we are sure we shall come to successful end of the games.
Moses Ondenge, an executive member on FUSE, says they have achieved 70% of their intentions for the tournament, and as days go by they will achieve the remaining 30.
I think we have achieved, we can talk of about 70% moving forward. Our target is 100%, so as the days go by, we have 2 more days to go. I'm sure we're going to hit the 100% target. And among other things is making the students from East Africa meet one another, know one another, share different cultures, and share one vision on one East African country.
Many other games are yet to take shape as they are still in their early stages of the competition and await a winner's crowning on the 21st of December, which is on Wednesday. Ali Sharan Kiranda, live at 8.
Don't put your time.
Strathmore University swept aside all the competition before them as they stormed to land gold in the Rugby Sevens in the East African University Games. They finished top of the standings in the round-robin competition, which also featured the hosts Ndeje, Makerere, Chambogo and Uganda Christian University. Competing regularly in the National League clearly provided the Kenyan side with the advantage as they were clearly prepared physically and tactically to compete in the games. Chambogo University took the silver after registering 3 wins from 4 games, while Makerere University took the bronze with 2 wins. Uganda Christian University finished bottom last on the table standings after losing all their games. Plenty of work to be done by the Ugandan sides in order to close the gap between them and their Kenyan counterparts. Meanwhile, in Taekwondo, Maseno and Kenya Methodist University scooped all the gold on day 2 of the Eastern African University Games. Zakaria Mantangwe was able to take the gold medal in the male welterweight division, defeating Okwiboni from Gulu University, who took silver, while Hilary Ouma took bronze from Maseno University. Brian Billy from Maseno University also emerged victorious in the male featherweight division. Basil Makati from the Kenya Methodist University took the silver medal, while Peter Mwambogu took gold in the male flyweight division, defeating Ogen Ivat Oyet from Ndeje University, while Griffin Frank from Maseno emerged third with a bronze medal. Kenyan investment in the game of Taekwondo at youth level is clearly paying off as they are destined for even more success at these games.
Lango Province is through to the final of this year's FUFA Drum after overcoming Toro Province in the second leg game that ended 1-0. The return leg fixture played at Akibua Stadium in Lira yesterday ended in a 1-0 win in favor of the hosts to send them to the final. It should be noted that the reverse fixture in Toro ended in a 2-2 draw where Alan Okello put in a standing performance that managed to win the prize of the man of the match. In yesterday's clash, Lango Province took a late first half lead in the 42nd minute through Alan Okello. Alan Okello had a wonderful game for his team side where he was also named the man of the match of the game. This was the second leg of the semi-finals and Lango won 1-0 at their home grounds. However, the visitors had chances to level the game but luck was not on their side. This is the first final that Lango will be playing since this tournament was introduced by FUFA in 2018. In the other semi-final match day, West Nile managed to put both legs to the final after beating Acholi 2-1 on aggregate. Lango Province will be facing West Nile in this year's final. It should be remembered that this is the second final that West Nile will be playing, having reached the same level in the inaugural edition but lost to Buganda. Ali Sharan Kiranda, Alan Gamoli, live at 8.
Thank you for watching. That was live at 8. My name is Anslem Ojaru. See you next time.